Hello again, fellow beer lovers. Guess what we got tonight? Another beautiful beer from the Sam Adams multi-pack, fresh as Helles. Now before you get too worried about the obscenities involved here, it's just German for light. Fresh as Helles. I'll read you what it says here. Lager with orange blossoms and natural flavor added. Now let's see what those flavors taste like. I already poured it here. Got my sister Jenny. She's over here off camera, but she is my sidekick and beer drinking buddy for the evening, and she's going to be rendering her opinions from her highly developed palate as well. So let me hold this up and we'll see what it looks like. This is completely translucent. Definitely lives up to its name as a light, a Helles. Light golden color. Looks quite a bit like apple cider. The head was very minimal. And okay, not seeing a lot of carbonation. And I'm not seeing any particulate. So let's see what it smells like. I would say, you know, there could be some notes of apple smell. You know, it's always easy to say, oh, it's, you know, fruity, or it's floral, or it's whatever. What do you think, Jenny? You getting any particular aromas?
I think apple is definitely in there, but yeah, I can't label the flower blossoms,
yeah.
But there
so it's definitely complex.
Yeah.
Who knows what they got in there? Well, let's see what it tastes like. Nice and crisp. And there's definitely a fairly long finish. And I am tasting apple. How about you, Jenny?
Definitely apple. It's very flavorful.
Now, Jenny is not a big fan of really strong or really hoppy beers. She prefers lighter fare. But even though this is a bit more complex than the plain lagers that you're used to, you're liking it?
I am enjoying it.
So you like the additional flavor?
Yeah.
You know, I toured the Anheuser-Busch huge brewery down in St. Louis a number of years ago, probably close to 20 years ago. And what the thing that really struck me, there were a few things that struck me, but one was that that they made a point of telling us that they brew in accordance with the Bavarian Reinheitsgebot, or the German purity law of 1516. And that definitely gave me a greater sense of respect for them, despite the naysayers, you know, a lot of craft beer lovers, and, you know, beer drinkers from other countries, you know, kind of scoff at American lagers because they're, you know, not terribly complex, and they're fairly weak as far as, well, they're light, they're super light beers, okay, but you know, they're quality beers, but they're just super light, and that's because the average Joe and the average woman, not just in the U.S. but in lots of places, you know, everybody knows that beer, including light beer, is an acquired taste, And guess what? You don't start with the heavy stuff. You start with the lighter stuff. And all these companies figured out if they wanted to make more money, they had to make it lighter in order to appeal to more people. Certainly the Germans that came over here weren't, the brewmasters weren't big fans of light lagers. You know, they knew all about, you know, malty and hoppy beers and all kinds of other varieties. But it was where the money was. Well, yeah, this is it's a really flavorful light beer. And you know, if I'm going to reach for a light beer, there's got to be something to hook me. And I've said before, I really appreciate a Carlsberg Elephant, which has really good flavor. But you know, what I like about this is that in addition to just the general greater flavor are these little notes, and I don't know, it says that the flavor's added, so you know, they may have put in some a little bit of coriander or nutmeg or who knows what. And I'm sure we could go on to Beer Advocate and find out exactly what all's in there. Definitely there's seasonings. So you'd buy that, huh, Jenny?
I like it, and I would buy that.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, in order to get it, you'd have to buy a whole 12-pack of Sam Adams, and you know, 90% of that is heavy on the hops. Well, gang, I think we're gonna keep it short tonight. But
it's Orange Blossom.
Oh, it's got Orange Blossom in there?
Yeah.
Orange Blossom. I guess, yeah, we did mention that at the beginning. I forgot about that. Orange Blossom. How could I miss that? I guess I was, you know, when I was thinking about the apple flavor, you know, there's citrus and apple. Yeah, well, that's interesting. The other flavors are eclipsing the orange flavor. The citrus is in there, but it's definitely covered up by some of the other flavors they've added. Well, that's all for tonight, everybody. If you like a light beer and you want to venture out and try something with just be a little bit more adventuresome and try something that's got some additional flavors added, definitely go out and get yourself a Sam Adams Fresh as Helles. And it's, I like it. It's 5.4% alcohol by volume, so, you know, that might be equivalent to 1.5 of what you're used to if that's what you like. So, enjoy, and adios.